anxietycenter.com.
Well, hello, Mr. Jim. This is Stella.
Hello, Stella.
Thank you so much. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for allowing us to come and listen and just be a part of this amazing anxiety center. You created really a gold mine here.
Oh.
So I am really honored to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. We're on to have you as well, by the way.
Thank you so much. Just a quick background for myself. In 2004, 2005, I was dealing with tremendous panic attacks and anxiety with many symptoms. And I have overcame after 2-3 years fighting through different symptoms. And of course, I'm not taking no medicine because they just made me feel worse. Mm-hmm. And in 2007, I overcame it. Then in 2011, I had double aneurysm. So there was a trauma that kicked it again off. Mm-hmm. I worked it to that. Then in 2017, both of my parents passed away. And that created another trigger. And I worked with Miss Grace. She is absolutely phenomenal. In 2017, she helped me to overcome grief and those anxieties. And I've been thriving, but the last 3 weeks, I have not noticed as I have any stress. I didn't have no trauma, nothing really that I can pinpoint. I am very active in our community, and a lot of people's reaching towards me for comfort. And so I was pouring out in the last couple of weeks more than I usually am. And I may have overdone it and I didn't take care of myself, but the last 3 weeks, I started having crazy symptoms that want to create a lot of triggers because of the brain aneurysm that I had. Just a lot of triggers. So my question for you is, my biggest thing is, I'm waking up middle in the night from a sound sleep with panic attacks. Yeah. And in those moments, I feel dizzy and my mind is running and I don't know how to stop it. And I am afraid of the symptoms.
Okay. Yeah. What is the source of your fear? Like, why are you afraid of these symptoms?
Well, because everything that has to do with my head, it goes back to what happened to me. Because I was evac, because the doctors here where I live, they didn't believe that I would survive. So they evac me to a bigger city. Yeah. And all that was really traumatic because I was in coma and I had to learn to walk again and talk again. And it was just such a trauma that every time I have dizziness or anything with my head going on, even headaches, that can cause panic attacks because of the past.
Yeah, gotcha. Sure. I kind of thought that was the case, but I didn't want to surmise. Yeah, Stella, it's common to go through a difficult medical experience and not come out the other side with some trauma. That's just how it is. We have experienced something, we've lived it, we know what it's like. We had all the threats and concerns about it as we went through it. Even though we've overcome it, and you did, and congratulations for your hard work. Speaks volumes about your character. We're still going to have negative memories about it. And so when we experience symptoms that sort of resonate with, well, what if, is this, just anxiety or is it something else? And of course, then we flash back to the struggle we had in the past. Of course, we're going to be anxious. It's a very normal reaction. So that's first. Okay. All right. As you know, though, anxiety and stress can cause dizziness, and it can wake us up with panic attacks. Having panic attacks is a good indication, especially being woken up in the middle of the night, that your stress is elevated. I would assume you're a very compassionate person. Is that correct?
I am. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Big heart. Yeah, you bet. Which is why you were pouring yourself out to others in need, which is wonderful. The problem is that we have to keep a good balance of being able to do that and keeping our stress in a healthy range. People who are empathetic and compassionate often have a tendency of overworking their body trying to help others. And again, it's very, very commendable to be that way. It's just that it's not healthy for us when we do that. As you know, healthy caregivers have a healthy balance of giving and also taking time for the body to recover. So if there's one thing I would encourage you to do is become very aware of balancing the stress you encounter, even though it may not feel like stress, even though it's something you're passionate about, still working with others and dealing with their issues
Yes.
is stressful, making sure you take sufficient time to balance that stress with rest. Because
Okay.
if you do that, you can still be compassionate, but your body won't be letting you know you're going too far. And of course, waking up in the middle of the night, first off, is a classic indication of elevated
Yeah.
stress. Panic attacks is a classic indication of that stress is up there. And
Mm-hmm.
dizziness is going to come along with it, because and then what happens when we wake up in the middle of the night, our sleep is cut short. Sometimes we can go back to sleep, sometimes we can't. Cuts our short, our
Mm-hmm.
sleep even shorter. Well, then we start to get dizzy because of tiredness and the stress. And next thing you know, if we're worriers, we just jump on board and start worrying about the whole thing, and it persists. And because you've had a
Absolutely.
past experience, of course you're going to be concerned. The last thing you want is to go through that again. So that's going to be at the back of your mind. So what I'd encourage you to do is right now just focus on getting your stress down. Do your best to contain your fears about the past experience, recognizing that these are
Okay.
very, very common symptoms of stress. So work at getting your stress down, and you have to work at it for a while, because as you know from our materials and your
Yes.
personal experience, it takes a long
Mm-hmm.
time to recover from the adverse effects of chronic stress.
Absolutely.
The body goes up fast, comes down really slow. So give yourself a nice
Mm-hmm.
long window to get yourself calmed down, get your body settled. And as your body calms, you'll find that you'll stop waking up in the middle of the night and with panic attacks. Again, they're
Okay.
classic indications of elevated stress. So,
Okay.
so the challenge is going to be for you to contain yourself about this and just put yourself into sort of neutral as you gear down, and not let your mind run off to the what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. But
Correct.
focus on the stress reduction, giving yourself time, and I think you'll be fine again.
Yes, and those muscle weaknesses and like feeling weak and numbness on the arms, all those are common symptoms.
Super common. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because not only the physical body gets punished, but so does the nervous system. The nervous system takes the biggest hit from chronic stress, and so it can
Mm,
present all this numbness and weakness and all the things that go on from a neurological perspective. But they're all stress related, and the good news is, as we get our stress down, the body back on track, all those things disappear. So the challenge always is keeping ourselves contained as we go through the stress reduction process, because we don't want to be
okay.
reducing our stress and worrying about it every moment, because that worry just keeps the stress up. So we have to say, no, I'm just going to settle down here. I'm just going to focus. My body's stressed. That's what's going on here. Just give your body time, and the body's going to kick up a fuss in spite of your change of attitude. It just does, because when the
Hmm.
body's stressed, it's going to let you know. But if we just keep ourselves contained and work at stress reduction over the course of time, slowly, slowly, slowly but surely, everything settles back to normal. We feel good again. And I want to give you one caution:
Okay.
is a mistake I see often is that people are symptomatic, say they have 5 or 10 symptoms, and they're really intense, and they work at getting it down, getting it down. Then they've got 2 or 3 left, and they think, hey, I'm good to go. I can manage this.
Hmm.
Well, guess what? They're
Hmm.
right back creating stress again.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to get
I
your body,
recognize that.
yeah, you want to get your body settled and stabilized before you start stressing it again. Now, that doesn't mean you just have to be a vegetable and sit on the couch. It means doing things you love to do, but making sure that you're erring on the side of rest and relaxation.
Okay. Is there anything on your website, because this is my main to go right now, middle of the night even,
Hmm.
a chapter that you would like me to just dive in and focus on that will really help me this time?
Hmm. Um, well, one thing that might help you, because you understand that stress is the concern here and that you need to get stressed down.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
probably, again, being that the biggest challenge is keeping your mind from running down the fear trails, the
Hmm.
section we're putting together right now on switching the body out of emergency mode and into rest mode would be helpful, because there's a lot of things we can do naturally to keep ourselves distracted away from the stressing thinking that allows the body to calm down. So that might be some time to spend there. We're just writing it, and there's a lot of pieces to come. I was looking at the long list, and it's quite lengthy, but we've got some on there now to give you an idea of
And
how you can.
which one is it?
Yeah, it's called. If you go to our homepage today, there's a link
Okay, homepage.
to. Yeah, there's a link to
Okay.
the. Let me just go back there right now. I'm pretty sure he called it.
I am on the member homepage, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The second topic down, it says natural ways to shift the body out of emergency mode.
Yes, I see it.
Yeah, in chapter 14, there's a
Yes.
number of things that can help you use your mind to keep the body from reacting anxiously and keep the body from reacting with stress. Those are all be helpful as you continue to work at gearing your body down. Yeah.
Amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. You are amazing, and all your team, and blessings to you, and thank you for everything.
Oh, it's our pleasure to help. And when you say blessings, of course, a prayer should be at the top of the list. We haven't got to that.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly my.
Yep. Prayer. Ask
Yes.
God's help in all this, and help you keep settled, because that Holy Spirit can do a lot of things. So that's one thing you should
Absolutely.
be bet. Yeah.
That is my to go, definitely.
Good for you.
Thank you, Mr. Jim.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're more than welcome.